a lot of different fish doing a lot of different things simply because there's a lot going on. Number one, you have the thermocline is in full effect in most lakes. So therefore, you don't have a lot of fish on the bottom below about 25 or 30 foot. These fish that live deeper, it doesn't matter how clear the water is in your lake, those fish are going to be suspended. Some of them are going to be on the bottom a little shallower. Some of them are going to be suspended over deep, some shallow, some suspended over shallow. There's going to be some shallow fish. The schools break up and there's a lot of individual rogue bass running around or little small wolf packs. So there's a lot of different places for them to be. Another thing is that there's a lot of different food options for them. You've got a lot of fish that are in shallow water that are hunter-gatherers. They're feeding on, shad, perch, bluegills, pumpkin seeds, snakes in the water, frogs in the water, crawdads. They're just hunter-gatherers. They're up there looking for food in shallow water. You've got some fish that are sort of in that mid-depth that move up at night to feed. And then you have your open water roamers that are basically just chasing around the shad and herring schools out there. There's a lot of life on the lake in the summertime of year, so there's a lot of feeding going on, a lot of opportunities for them to feed. Therefore, one of the reasons that fishing is so tough this time of year is the fish feed heavily at nighttime. So you know that if you fish at night, you know how much better the fishing is at night in August. And it normally is all year long, but August you really notice the difference. Another reason it's tough is the oxygen level contents, not only below the thermocline are low, but sometimes in shallow water. If you get like in the back of a cove or a creek, if there's not a lot of current moving, a lot of times you have low oxygen contents. That makes the fish inactive. And just in general, it's just hot. It's hot, and also there's a lot of activity on the boat, on the lake. You have a lot of noise decibels. In the summertime of the year on a public body water, you've got jet skis, you got pontoons, you got wake boats out there, you got bass boats, and fish react to that. When the noise decibel levels increase on a lake, it's no different than like a bad cold front coming through, and those fish will shut down a lot of times. So there's a lot of negatives, and that is the reason why fishing's so tough. So here's some things you can do with it to really help out. Now, if you don't want to live scope and get out there and roam around and have your head glued to a video game screen, you're going to have to move shallow this time of year in order to consistently catch them in August. And what happens a lot of times, and this is why a lot of the old Bassmaster Classics we had used to be in August, and you started noticing a lot of guys were winning tournaments in August, the Bassmaster Classic, in shallow water, because those shallow fish they started to get a little bit more consistent than the deeper fish.